Hi, I'm Constable Michelle Steele with the Yellowknife RCMP Community Policing Section, and today I'm going to read The Magic Boat by Kit Pearson and Catherine Ferris, illustrated by Gabrielle Grimard, and published by Orca Book Publishers. I'm reading with permission from the publisher. Every summer morning, Ellie and Nona went to the beach. Ellie built castles and decorated them with shells and pebbles. She stood on the shore and let the cold waves wash over her toes. She jumped on kelp bulbs to make them pop. "Why don't you play with the other children?" Nona asked Ellie, but Ellie was too shy to talk to them. One morning, Ellie wandered along the beach collecting pebbles. An older girl was sitting on a log. She watched Ellie for a few seconds. "Want to see my magic boat?" she asked. Ellie followed the girl to an old blue boat that was half buried in the sand. The girl climbed into the boat and told Ellie to sit behind her. The boat did not seem magic at all. Its paint was peeling and the seat under Ellie was rough and splintery. Ellie looked across the beach at Nona. Nona waved. She seemed very far away. "Let's go to sea," said the girl. Ellie clutched the sides of the boat and closed her eyes. When she opened them, they were on the water. The old boat had turned into a sleek dinghy with orange sails. Ellie controlled the rudder while the boat tacked this way and that. They skimmed past islands studded with sleepy seals. They raced a boy in another boat. In the distance, a pod of orcas sliced through the waves. Nearby, a heron was trying to follow a very large fish. When they laughed, the heron croaked and flew into the air. "Let's fly," said the girl. The boat turned into a balloon, and up they rose with the gulls. A red-headed vulture wobbled above them, searching for carrion. They looked down upon an eagle's nest, and a tiny ladybug zipped by. A raven flew by so close that they could hear the whoops of its wings. Then it turned a somersault in the air. A kingfisher let out a rattling cry and plunged into the water. "Ellie!" called a faraway voice. The balloon turned back in to the old blue boat. "It's time for your snack," called Nona. "Bring your friend." Ellie and the girl sat on a blanket, eating enamel bars and drinking juice. "What's your name?" asked Nona. "Piper," said the girl. "This is Ellie," said Nona. The next morning, Ellie rushed to the boat. Piper was sitting in it, waiting for her. "Today, can we go under the sea?" asked Ellie. The boat became a submarine. Down it sank into the dark ocean depths. Above them shimmered a tight herring ball. They followed a glowing jellyfish carried by the current. A giant octopus spread out its legs as it landed on the seabed. Schools of perch darted through a forest of sponges. A fat otter zoomed up to the surface, its mouth full of crab. From far away, a boy called, "Piper!" At once, Ellie and Piper were back on the beach, sitting in the old blue boat. "It's time to go," called the boy. "That's my brother," said Piper. "Will I see you tomorrow?" asked Ellie. Piper shook her head. "Tomorrow we're going back to the city." The next morning, Ellie sat in the old blue boat all by herself. She tried to sail out to sea. She tried to fly in the air. She tried to sink under the water. But nothing happened. Ellie got out of the boat. She sat beside Nona for a long time, watching a boy dig a hole. "There's nothing to do," she complained. For a while, Nona helped Ellie build a castle, but then she went back to her book. "Why don't you play with that boy?" she asked. Ellie shook her head. She wrapped her towel around her and sat with her back to Nona, staring at the empty boat. The boy was there again the next day. Ellie looked at him. She looked at the boat. "Hi," she said. "My name is Ellie. What's yours?" "Sasha," the boy replied shyly. Ellie smiled at Sasha. "Want to see my magic boat?"